Hello, everybody. Welcome to our BSL, British Sign Language class. My name is Anthony. I am a BSL tutor and I teach sign language and also a little bit of deaf awareness. I would like to welcome our interpreter for today. We've got a different interpreter, as you can see. So I hope everybody is well. Let me just explain what our session will be today. So I'm going to be teaching a little bit of BSL and deaf awareness. So if it's your first time today to our BSL session, welcome. So I just want to explain, we have two faces on the screen. So we have an interpreter who is translating from British Sign Language into spoken English. And also from spoken English into BSL. That's how interpreters work. So that's why you see two faces on the screen today. So you're very welcome. For our regular attendees, it's good to see you all again. So I hope you're all well. I am based in Northern Ireland, in Belfast, and we always talk about the weather here. And it is a dull day. It feels a bit cloudy, a bit dull. Yeah, the clouds are thick. And this morning, I dropped off my three children off to school. So I had a nice walk. So the school is not too far from my house. It's about a 10-minute walk from my house. So I had a lovely walk and I was lovely. I was able to say hello to people on the way and everybody seemed to be in a good mood for such a dull day. Everybody seemed very happy. So I thought, this is good. Now I'm in a good mood now because of that. So as I explained, or sorry, let me explain for people, whoever it's if it's your first time. So I come and I have been doing sessions every 2 weeks for the past 5 years, and that started through COVID times, 2020. So it starts from September and goes all the way through till June. And that is, we use the academic calendar. So in September, I start again. So 2 weeks ago, we had our first session, which means today is our second session. So the 2 weeks ago, I focused on teaching the alphabet and greetings, such as how are you, what is your name? So that's what we covered the last session. So I will repeat some of those signs today so that we can recap and help you remember on your finger spelling. And if it is going too quickly, you can go back on YouTube or on Facebook. It's on, if the videos are still there from last week and also from last year, all of the video content is there so that you can go back and repeat those sessions as much as you need to. If you do have any questions throughout the session, please do make a comment on any of the videos. If you have any specific signs or you have any questions as to why a sign is a certain way, or you have any questions about deaf culture, please ask your questions in the comments box throughout the session. Or if you do want me to teach a different topic, please do let me know in the comments box below. Okay, so are we ready? I'm going to get started. I'm going to recap from the last session, just a summary of what we covered, and then I will teach our new topic, which today is family. Okay, are we ready to get started? So the last session, we started with the alphabet. So if you all follow along, so we will, in the first instance, have the voiceover. And then we'll do it again without the voiceover. So just to remind all of you, the vowels always start on your thumb and pointing with your index finger, A, E, I, O, U. So if you can remember the vowels from last week. So are we ready? A. Hello, Kellyanne. Good to see you again. I hope you're well. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Brilliant. Well done. So if you're not sure and you've forgotten some of those finger spelling alphabet, you can type into YouTube the BSL alphabet, and there are plenty of pictures, or you can type it into Google, sorry. There's plenty of pictures, you can click on those images, and you can pop that on your fridge or on your wall to keep practicing the alphabet. Okay, so I'm going to repeat it, and this time without our voiceover. Fantastic, Kellyanne. You have the BSL dictionary on your phone. That's a really useful tool so you can keep reminding yourself of the BSL alphabet. So that's a lovely tip. Why don't you download the app onto your phone? And then if you see anything that you want to learn the sign for, you can look on the BSL dictionary. And welcome, Brian. Lovely to see you again. So I'm going to do it one more time, but this time I'm going to do it very quick and see if you can follow along with me, okay? Are you ready? Great, well done, everybody. So that was quick. So you've done very well. So I will do that again in our next session. So I might do it even quicker next time. So make sure you practice between now and then so you can keep up. Ah, fantastic. Well done, Joan. You kept up with me. So that means you're a natural finger speller now. Well done. So the question from the username Groot was, do you know of any virtual communities to practice BSL? And there are plenty of resources online. You can use Facebook, you can watch videos of British Sign Language in use. It depends where you live. Or you could meet up with deaf people face to face and practice British Sign Language in local deaf clubs. Or, as mentioned, you can download the BSL Dictionary app and practice the vocabulary on the app. Or you can use YouTube as a valuable resource as well. Type in British Sign Language, and there are plenty of videos online. There's one really good resource, which is from the NDC CS. It's the National Deaf Children's Society. So if you type in BSL videos from NDCS, there are plenty of videos. So just make sure that you're clicking on the correct videos, because there are some English regional signs, some Northern Irish, Scottish, and Welsh. So it's all regional variations in sign language. So it's very interesting, but it is quite different. It is similar. I suppose it's similar to having different accents. So if you were a hearing person, a person who can hear and using spoken English and maybe having an accent from Australia or America or South America, South America, you will be able to identify where that person is from their accent. So it's the same in British Sign Language. If there are regional variations being used, then I will be able to identify the place that that person is from. Kelly Ann has said that sometimes it can be hard to follow when British Sign Language is being used in person, but it does take time and practice. So in the last session, I taught some greetings. Just want to say, you're welcome, Groot. So in the last session, I taught you some greetings. So to recap on that, how are you? How are you? And the response then can be I'm good. Thank you. Good. Thank you. And we'll do that again. How are you? And the response then, I'm good. Thank you. Okay. The second greeting, name. Name. My name. And then you would fingerspell your name. We don't use the word is in British Sign Language. Some English words that we have in spoken English, we don't have in British Sign Language, and it's the same vice versa. You might have some signs in British Sign Language that we don't have in spoken English, and it's the same across different spoken languages across the world. So my name, and then you fingerspell your name. And if you've forgotten how to fingerspell your name, don't worry. You can go onto Google and have a look at the images as mentioned. They are there, so you can recap on those. So now I'm going to ask you a question and I want you to respond. And then you're going to ask me the same question. And then I will respond. Then the second question, I want you to respond to me. And then same again, I am going to ask you a second question and I will respond to you, so that it's more engaging and interactive. It's almost like a conversation. Imagine you were to meet a deaf person on the street or in your local communities, if you're out shopping or in a cafe or a restaurant. You can use a little bit of basic sign language to have small conversation, which can make such a huge difference. So are you ready? So first of all, we'll do it with our voiceover. Hello. How are you? Great. Thank you. Your name. What? What is your name? My name is Anthony. Perfect. Well done. So we'll do that again one more time, but this time without having the voice included. And just to remind you, when I am asking you a question about your name, just whoever missed the last session, I just want to recap on that. You might be wondering why we say your name what. So that is to do with the British Sign Language grammatical structure. So those are the rules of the grammar in British Sign Language. In English, we would say, what is your name? But we always comment on the person first and then the topic second, which is, what is your name? So that's just the grammatical structure of British Sign Language. So that's an interesting difference between the languages. Okay, are you ready? So this time without the voice. Good, well done, everyone. Joan, nice to see you there that you've said, I am good, thank you, because obviously I can't see your responses, so that's wonderful. Thank you very much. So I think we have recapped from the last session. So now I'm going to move on to our new topic, which is family. And again, there are regional variations. So I'm going to use English regional variations because that is the most standardized across all the regions. So family, this is the sign for family. So it's the F hand shape and you move it around in a circle. Family, 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 family. Some signs in different regions, there are variations. Some people sign family like this with the full hand shape with your open fingers in the same circle, family. But the hand shape is different, as you can see. Family. In this instance, I'm going to teach family. Okay. Brother. 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 Sister. 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 Brother. Brother. Sister. Brother. Sister. Brother. Sister. Okay. So the question would be, do you have any brothers and sisters? So in British Sign Language, so I'm going to teach you the word have. 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 And in BSL, it's a very literal meaning. The word, or sorry, the sign is a very literal sign, as in to have, hold it in your hand, to have it. So if you look at a phone, this is the sign for phone. So the question, you, phone, have. And the response, me, phone, have. I have a phone. But you can see that I'm nodding my head to say I have. So me, phone, have. I have a phone. Pen, pen. So the question, you, pen, have. And the response then, me, pen, have. Meaning I have a pen. So lastly, book, book. The question, you, book, have, me, book, don't have, nothing. I don't have a book. So as you can see, I'm shaking my head to indicate no. I'm nodding my head to indicate yes. But if I don't have, I shake my head because I have no book. Okay, so let me repeat those. The same three questions regarding the phone, the pen, and the book. But this time without the voice. Okay, so see if you can follow along the signs. Okay, so in the same way, brother, Joan, you have one brother and soon to be sister. Sorry, Joan, you have one sister and three brothers, and Kellyanne, you have a brother and soon to be sister-in-law. How lovely. So now I'm going to demonstrate the sign for do you have any brothers and sisters? But this time without the voice to see if you can catch the signing and follow along. So now, whoever is watching, please type into the comment box to see if you can tell me what I just said. So I will repeat it again without the voice. Good. So I'll do it lastly one more time. Joan, you're right. Well done. That is what I said. You're right. I have one brother and two sisters. Fantastic. And username group, yes. One brother and two sisters. There is a little bit of a delay when I'm signing. Um, I can see that there is a little bit of a delay, so apologies for that. I can see that the comments are coming up a little bit later than I just because of the internet. So now the topic of name. In our last session, we were talking about questions, you. So who, so if you're talking about he or she or they, you sign who you're talking about first. So you, your name, what? So that's the question. That's the sign for the question, what? So I'll do that again without the voice. And then the response, my name, and then you fingerspell. So it's the same as the brother and sister question, grammatical structure. So the question is you, brother, name, what? My brother, and then point, his name. So I will explain why I point. It's quite a complicated concept, okay? So in spoken language, we have a lot of words, but in sign language, we have a lot of vocabulary, but we also have additional facial expression, pointing, placements, and it's all part of our language. So as I mentioned, my brother, and then I pointed, it's the same way in English you would say my brother, my brother's name, or you might say his name is, or he likes football, yeah. So I will explain more about that. Joan, you've got brothers called Kevin, Jonathan, and David. 3 brothers. 3 brothers. And what about your sisters' names? And Kellyanne, Carl, and Emily. Is that your sister-in-law's name, Emily? Is that right? Thank you very much for your comments. So I'm going to show you how this looks. All right. My brother's name. Thank you, Kellyanne. Perfect. So I'll sign the question again and we'll not have the voice. So I want you to try and catch what my brother's name is, okay? So I'll repeat that again. So see if you can get the name. Well done, Joe. You got it right. The name was Rob. Absolutely. I have 2 sisters. So see if you can catch the 2 names. I'll do that again. Well done, June. Good spot. You got it. So as you can see, I pointed to one sister in one direction and another sister in another direction. So that is an element of sign language called placement. And I will explain, I will say something again without the voice and see if you can catch it. So as you can see, I'm using pointing, and after I've set up my placements. So it's very visual. So that's why sign language is so amazing, because once we've set up our placements, you can refer back to it. But I know that it's very difficult for first-time learners to imagine because there's nothing actually physically in that space, but it's like an imaginary space that you set up. Well done, Joan. Superb. You got it. If you have three, say, brothers, you can sign like this. My brother, point, and then his name. Point again, his name. Point again, and his name. So you set up three different placements. If you have four brothers, it can get if it gets too many, you can do it like this to refer to four different people. So my first brother's name, so you point to your first finger. My second brother's name, you point to your second finger. My third brother's name, you point to your third finger. And my fourth brother's name, and you point to your fourth finger, or five. So it's very interesting. So we've completed the section on brothers and sisters. So I'll discuss more about families, different family members. Mother, mother, mother. Father, 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 mother, father. Mom, dad, mom, dad. Okay. Grandmother, grandmother. So G and M, grandmother. And some people call their grandmother granny. So granny, granny. And some people call their grandmother nanny or nanny, nana. Okay. So grandfather, granddad, granddad. Some people call their grandpa, grandpa, grandpa. Okay. So auntie, auntie, aunt, aunt, uncle, 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 aunt. So it's the same sign, but it's just a differentiation in your lip pattern. So aunt and uncle, aunt, uncle. cousin, 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 cousin. So C for cousin, husband. So on your wedding finger, your ring finger, husband. And it's the same sign for wife. Wife, wife, partner, 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 children, 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 son, 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 daughter, 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 daughter. Okay. So I'm hoping that you've all enjoyed learning all of the family signs. And it can feel like it's a lot to learn and it's easy to forget, but don't worry, you can go back and catch up on the video that's been uploaded onto Facebook and onto YouTube, and you can go back again and again and again and keep repeating it until you remember it. Okay, so I want to say a huge thank you to all of you for making the effort to come along and sign British Sign Language. You make a huge difference to the deaf community because it means that we have access to communication. So thank you so much for your time. And thank you to the Royal Voluntary Service for giving me the opportunity to teach sign language across the UK. And lastly, I'd like to thank the interpreter. I hope you all have a lovely weekend and I'll see you next time. Bye.